Yo, yo, yo. It is good to see everyone. I'm going to be reacting to the Donald Trump Al Smith dinner here. And maybe going for about an hour or so. The first thing I did want to show, though, I believe this is around a 20-minute speech by Trump. It looks like it starts at 39 and goes to about 9. Yeah, it's about a 20-minute speech. A little roast here. You got Chuck Schumer right next to him. That's Roger Goodell right there. I was like, why is Roger Goodell there? But no, there is Roger Goodell right there. But I do want to show the Kamala Harris thing that she sent in, which was just, I mean, she was mocking Catholics. It just makes no sense. I don't know what this was. It was just so weird. But here it is.
Cool. Oh, sorry.
Hey, what's going on? Who was that?
Oh, sorry, Mary Catherine Elliott. Mary Catherine Elliott. It's so nice to meet you.
Very nice to meet you, Mary Catherine. Right now I'm trying to record my speech for tonight's dinner.
Oh, yeah, I know. I just want to say that I'm Catholic, and tonight is one of the biggest dinners next to the Last Supper.
It is a very important dinner, and it's an important tradition that I'm so proud to be a part of.
Sometimes when I get nervous, I stick my fingers under my arms and I simmer them like that. But that's gross.
So tell me something.
She's just mocking
I'm
him.
giving a speech. Do you have some thoughts about what I might say tonight?
My feelings about what you should say tonight would be best expressed in a monologue from one of my favorite made-for-TV series.
Okay, let's hear it.
Don't you see, man? We need a woman to represent us. A woman brings more heart, more compassion. And think how smart she must be to become a top contender in a field dominated by men. It's time for a woman, bro. And with this woman, we can fly.
This is liberal comedy.
What series was that from?
Oh, that's from House of Dragons, now streaming on HBO Max.
Is there anything that you think that maybe I shouldn't bring up tonight?
Well, don't lie. Thou shalt not bear false witness to thy neighbor.
Indeed, especially thy neighbor's election results.
Just so you know, there will be a fact checker there tonight.
Oh, that's great. Who?
Jesus. And maybe don't say anything negative about Catholics.
I would never do that, no matter where I was. That would be like criticizing Detroit in Detroit.
Does it bother you that that Trump guy insults you all the time? Because it really bothers my friends and me.
Dude, I can't watch. I'm sorry, I can't watch this. I mean, this is hard.
Mary Catherine, it's very important to always remember you should never let anyone tell you who you are. You tell them who you are.
Haters gonna hate, hate, hate. Shake it off.
Shake it off.
Shake it off.
Shake it off. Good for you, Mary
They're
Catherine.
ready.
Oh, yeah, okay. And also remember one more thing. Don't worry
Got to get the DEI secretary.
if you make a mistake, 'cause Catholic people are very forgiving. Yeah, and also, one last thing I want to tell you, don't forget to say, superstar!
Thank you, Mary Catherine.
Thank you, Mamala.
Thank you.
Mamala.
Your Eminence and distinguished guests, the Al Smith dinner provides a rare opportunity to set aside partisanship.
I know, dude. There's so much with the Harris campaign. It's like it doesn't even make like. At least if it was funny, you could kind of. But it's so bad. It genuinely is so bad. But this is obviously a much longer speech here with Trump, so it's about 20-minute speech.
Republican nominee and the 45th President of the United States, President Donald J. Trump.
Yep, there's Schumer right there. He was talking to Schumer. Jack, what's up?
Thank you, everybody. Well, thank you very much. It's an honor. And they told me under no circumstances are you allowed to use a teleprompter. And I got up here and I see this is beautiful.
Is that loud enough or no? I might have to find it on X if it's not. It doesn't sound very loud. I'll try and find it on X if it's not loud enough.
Thank you, everybody. Well, thank you very much. It's an honor.
Is this? Yeah, we'll wait. I mean, I had it turned up. I had it turned up as loud as possible. This is another one.
Honor. And they told me under no circumstances are you allowed to use a teleprompter. And I got up here and I see there's this beautiful teleprompter. So here I am. But it is a tremendous thing. It's a tremendous dinner. I've come here with my father. So it
I think the volume's still low. I'm going to have to find it. Right side broadcasting, far away angle. Microphone kicks in soon.
was 3 times, but it was also many times before.
Trump War Room posted it.
A long time ago, and it's a very special dinner. And you've done a fantastic job, Cardinal. Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Trump War Room.
Well, thank
think
you
we got
very
it. I
much.
think we
It's
got
an
it.
honor. And they told me under no circumstances are you allowed to use a teleprompter. And I got up here and I see there's this beautiful teleprompter. So here I am. But it is a tremendous thing. It's a tremendous dinner. I've come here with my father. So it was 3 times, but it was also many times before that, a long time ago. And it's a very special dinner. And you've done a fantastic job, Cardinal. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. So I'd like to thank Your Eminence very much, and members of the clergy, so many people I know. Speaker of the House Johnson, what a job you're doing. He's done a great job. Senator Schumer, good. Yeah, I supported him. I was, I don't know. I don't know if he used to say that's true, and now I'm not sure he would, but I gave him his first check from an office in Beach Haven.
There he is right there.
And I was very proud of it. I don't know about lately.
He's mogging him.
No, I was. It was his first check. He was running, and I said, he's a good man. Senator Gillibrand, thank you very much. Thank you very much for working hard. Governor
Chuck
Hochul,
looks like a child.
wherever you may be up. This is a big day, that's right. Where is the governor? Good job. It's not an easy one, is it? But you're doing all right. We have to get a little money from the federal government, I have to tell you. It's about time. It's about time. Mayor Adams, good luck with everything. They went after you. They went after you, Mayor. Yeah, boy, I do that. 9.5 months ago, I said, he just said something about the administration. He's going to be indicted any moment. And guess what happened? But you're going to win. I think you're going to win. I know you're going to win. So good luck. Good luck. I don't like what they do. I don't like what they do. And also, distinguished guests, so many friends up here. It's great. A lot of great friends. Some of my best friends. And you are right. They are distinguished and they are wealthy for the most part. A couple are having a hard time, but they're going to get over it. I also want to thank my very beautiful wife, and thank you for mentioning, but can you believe this? She did a book, and it's a really good book, and she worked hard on it, and it just became #1 on the New York Times list, so I think that's okay.
You're talking about Melania's
That's
book.
not an easy thing to do, especially when your name is Trump and you're on the New York Times list.
Yeah, that is Robert Kraft, you're right.
It must be selling like hotcakes. But thank you for mentioning. I appreciate it. Good job you did. It's a true pleasure to be with you this evening. Amazing pleasure. And these days, it's really a pleasure anywhere in New York without a subpoena for my appearance.
That's rare.
Anytime I don't get a subpoena, I'm very happy. They've gone after me, Mr. Mayor. You're peanuts compared
Bro,
to
this
what they've
camera's
done to
brutal.
me. And you're going to be okay.
Schumer just looks evil.
But I have to be careful, however.
I call him a
to
cockroach.
Understand that this will be the first time in the history of this event where jokes will be fact-checked, and they will be. And they will be. It's been a long tradition for both Democrat and Republican candidates for President of the United States to attend this dinner. It's a rule. You got to go to the dinner. You got to do it. Otherwise, bad things are going to happen to you from up there. You can't do what I just saw on that screen. But my opponent feels like she does not have to be here, which is deeply disrespectful to the event, and in particular
Don't worry,
to
she
our
put a
great
video out.
Catholic community. Very disrespectful.
Chuck looks like he's about to cry.
The last Democrat not to attend this important event was Walter Mondale, and it did not go very well for him. He lost 49 states and he won one, Minnesota.
His home state.
So I said, there's no way I'm missing it. Actually, it was not easy for me to get here tonight. Because I wasn't going to miss this thing, no matter, I didn't care. I wasn't going to miss it. But that's true. Walter Mondale, 49 and 1. He was expected to do well, and it didn't work out. It shows you there is a God. I mean, for those people that are questioning it. I understand the real reason that she's not here is she's hunting with her running mate, spending a lot of time hunting. In any event, it's a weird. You know the word weird. They call me weird. They call JD weird. We're very solid people. This guy is calling us weird, but this was weird that the Democrat candidate is not here and with us tonight. I want to also congratulate somebody's going to make us all.
She put out a weird video.
RFK Jr., we love you. I don't see him. He's campaigning all over the place. He's campaigning. You're all over. Hello, you both.
The RFK Jr.'s there.
Doing a good job. He's a great guy, too. He really is. He's going to make us a healthier place. We're going to let him go wild for a little while. Then I'm going to have to maybe rein him back. Because he's got some pretty wild ideas, but most of them are really good, I think. He's a good man.
If you want to go hunting, he's the guy. He should have said that.
The healthy people. He wants healthy people. He wants healthy food. And he's going to do it. He's going to have a big chance to do it because we do need that. I would not have missed the Al Smith dinner for anything in the world. I still remember coming here as a very young guy with my father, Fred. He was a great guy, my father. He was a tough cookie, but he had a very big heart. He was, anytime we'd walk down the street, and you don't see it too much anymore, there'd be people standing with tin cans, and he would always take out $100 and put it in that can. And I always thought it was beautiful. And frankly, I even think more so now it was beautiful, because nowadays you don't see it so much. But I miss him, and we used to come here very religiously. And a great New York tradition has been.
Chuck looks like a 5-year-old who didn't. His mommy told him no more dessert, and he's just sitting at the dinner table after.
Almost that length. I know many of them, and it's not a pretty picture. Not a pretty picture. The two candidates for president are supposed to exchange good-natured barbs, and you know we get along very well. I didn't like Biden very much, and now I like him quite a bit. You know, and now I say that she's much worse than him. He was a much better candidate than her, actually. And when we hopefully win, dispose of her, I like her a lot, but right now I can't stand her. It's true. I can't stand. I've never liked people that I was competing against. When you do, a lot of bad things happen. And we are doing well.
Dude,
but
Robert Kraft is a fossil.
You got to get out and vote. And Catholics, you got to vote for me. Just remember. You better remember I'm here, and she's not. I could have done that too. But you do something that's incredible. The Catholic Church, you're helping the poor, educating children, and supporting.
Why is he so
vulnerable.
Hunched? He's like this.
But if you really wanted Vice President Harris to accept your invitation, I guess you should have told her the funds were going to bail out the looters and rioters in
That's the
Minneapolis,
cuck position.
She would have been here, guaranteed. She would have been here, guaranteed. She would have been okay. She would have been okay with that. But I know this isn't my normal crowd tonight, because it just isn't. It's not my normal crowd. My normal crowd.
The dude in the back, this
Younger.
dude looks like he hates his life.
Has a lot more
Which
energy.
one?
But you have certain advantages too.
Look, he's
Like
got his
cash,
trophy wife.
Lots of cash. But many of you are Manhattan liberals from the media and the Democrat Party. I always say the Democrat, you know, Chuck doesn't like that. He likes Democratic. And it sounds much more beautiful. The Democratic Party. I always say the Democrat Party because it sounds worse.
Someone get Chuck a pacifier. What if he said that?
It is true. He likes Democratic. Why don't they just change the name? This way, it is Democrat. But
He's blushing.
I must say I was shocked when I heard that Kamala was skipping the Al Smith dinner. I'd really hoped that she would come because we can't get enough of hearing her beautiful laugh. She laughs like crazy. We would recognize it any place in this room, and all polls are indicating I'm leading big with the Catholic vote, as I should be, But I don't think Kamala has given up yet. She hasn't. Instead of attending tonight, she's in Michigan receiving communion from Gretchen Whitmer.
A Dorito?
That's not a pretty sight. But Catholics, please don't be too insulted by Kamala's absence. If the Democrats, thank you very much, I appreciate it. If Democrats really wanted to have someone not be with us this evening, they would have just sent Joe Biden. You know, he's having second thoughts, you know that, right? He wants to come back. If she does any worse in the polls, they're going to bring him back again, I think. Chuck, he's going to do it. He's the one that got him out. That's the guy. Much more so than Crazy Nancy, I will tell you. Because I know him. He did it. Joe has almost disappeared from view. The only way he could be seen less is if he had a show on CNN. They had nothing. They've got nothing. Fake news, right? Fake. That term wasn't good. You know, they say that term is no longer in vogue because it's much worse than fake. I don't want to tell you what the real name is. I won't do it because all those cameras would shut off immediately. They don't like that. But apparently Joe didn't think it was fair for me to have the podium to myself with Kamala skipping the event.
Chuck
So
is
he
in the
called,
cuck chair.
Looked at me and said, "Don't." Does anybody understand that? Yeah. I thought it was actually very good until
Bloomberg looks dead.
it was
in all
announced this
caps.
morning that at a funeral yesterday, in a rare moment of clarity,
Man,
Joe
the chat
told
is
Barack
savage.
Hussein Obama.
The chat is not happy with them.
Only a few people got that. Or as Rush Limbaugh used to say, Barack Hussein Obama. Remember, bro? He was a piece of work. We miss him. But as he told Barack
That
Hussein
scowl.
Obama, quote, "She's not as strong as me. She's not as strong. Do you understand that?" And Obama agreed, saying, "That's true. Other than that, I think the Democrats are getting along quite well." Right? Nobody got that one. The fact is, we need new leadership in this country. Right now, we have someone in the White House who can barely talk, barely put together two coherent sentences, who seems to have
Looks like Simon
mental
Cowell, maybe before the plastic surgery.
faculties of a child.
In the back?
he said. There's a person that has nothing going, no intelligence whatsoever, but enough about Kamala Harris. Let's get on to something. I know Kamala's word because she spends a lot of time complaining. I won't agree to another debate. But the truth is, I've debated twice this year, once against Joe Biden and once against David Muir of ABC. That was amazing, 11 times. None for the other side. Do you think that's fair news? I don't think so. That's fake news. I don't know what's going to happen 3 weeks from now. It's going to be very interesting. It just started. It's actually, isn't it sort of exciting? Right? It really, isn't it just exciting what's going on? It's a process. It's a rough process, too. Not so pretty, and yet sometimes very beautiful. But the press is reporting that Democrats are starting to panic. They're panicking. They are panicking because, you know, the votes that are coming in very, very strong, a certain way. I won't tell you what way that is, but Chuck Schumer is here looking very glum. Doesn't he look glum? He looks glum.
Dude, he is a
But look
child.
on the bright side, Chuck,
He is a
considering
child.
how
He's
woke
like,
your party has become. If Kamala loses, you still have a chance to become the first woman president. And I actually said, "Do you mind if I do that?" He said, "No, you got to do what you got to do." He's a pro. He's a professional. No, he's a good man, actually. I hate to say it. Don't ever use it against me, please. They'll say, this dinner was really setting me back when I say it now, but I've known him a long time. There's a group called White Dudes for Harris. Have you seen this?
Oh,
White
God.
Dudes for Harris. Anybody know? Are some of you here? White Dudes for Harris? Doesn't sound like it. But I'm not worried about them at all because their wives and their wives' lovers are all voting for me. Every one of those
White Dudes
people
for
are voting
Harris.
for me. And as you may have seen, Kamala did an interview on Fox News yesterday. It went so poorly for her that the Democrats have been forced to install another 100 drop boxes throughout the city. And the upside really is Kamala now sees the benefit of deportation. She wants to deport people. She's vicious. She wants to deport people, and she wants to
badass.
start by deporting Brett Baer of Fox. It's an interesting interview last night. Huh? A major issue in this race is child care, and Kamala has put forward a concept of a plan. A lot of people don't like it. The only piece of advice I would have for her in the event that she wins would be not to let her husband, Doug, anywhere near the nannies. Just keep him away. That's a nasty one. That's nasty.
Well,
I
mean,
told
that's-
these idiots that gave me this stuff, that's too tough. Oh, I did.
It's
you
funny
know,
no
they
one
told
even
me
asked
the
him
last
about
time
that.
I did this, I was running against Crooked Hillary. And, I mean Hillary. No, I was running against Crooked Hillary and I did it. And I thought it was a roast. So I was told it's a roast. And I had the meanest guy you've ever seen write stuff up. And man, was the room angry. Even the Cardinal remembers. I went overboard. Don't you agree, Cardinal? It was like terrible. And I knew I was in trouble around midway through because, you know, people had not, even my own side was angry at me. They were saying, it's too much. But I did it anyway. I didn't give it. Campaigning can take a toll on a family and family life, although I hear that Kamala and her husband carve out some really beautiful alone time at the end of the day for an intimate dinner, just Doug, her, and the teleprompter that she uses quite well.
What is Bob Kraft doing
By
there?
the
What
way,
about
she
what
would
about
like this tonight if she was told about
Goodell
no
being there?
teleprompter? I can't believe I saw a teleprompter. They said they've never had a teleprompter in the history of this dinner. I told that to the Cardinal, right? And then a teleprompter pops up for. He must be a very important comedian to get that. They give you one, but not me. How about that one? Huh? Come here. Yeah, and you did a good job. Tradition holds that I'm supposed to tell a few self-deprecating jokes this evening. So here it goes. Nope, I've got nothing. I've got nothing. There's nothing to
Bloomberg
say.
aged horribly. Bloomberg is
I guess I just don't see the point of taking shots
he's
at
on the path
myself
that-
when
that Robert
other
Kraft is
people have
already
been shooting at me
Robert
for a
Kraft
hell of
is
a
a
long
fossil.
time, and they shoot hard. You know, they say about presidents, they say that Andrew Jackson was the president that was the most meanly treated. His wife died. She died of heartache. She was heartbroken at the way they treated him. And they say that second was Abraham Lincoln, but he was in charge of a civil war, you know. So, but those were the two, Andrew Jackson. Up until me, now they say it's not even close. There's never been a president that's been treated so badly as me, and our people aren't happy about it. But I was treated a little bit rough. But I don't mind it somehow, and I think it's just part of the game. I'd like to thank our MC this evening, Jim Gaffigan. Most recently, Jim has been playing Tim Walsh on Saturday Night Live.
Bloomberg looks like a
And
megaphone.
that'll be a very short gig, I hope, Jim. But it was fun while it lasted, wasn't it?
He did do a good job playing Walls.
It better be quick. We don't want him, and we don't. I'm not going to say anymore. But unfortunately, Governor Walsh isn't here himself. But don't worry, he'll.
What if Walls
say
was
that
here
was.
and he had to
Yes,
talk?
I used to think the Democrats were crazy for saying that men have periods, but then I met Tim Walz. The stupid show, The View, is so bad now that the other day I was watching it and thinking to myself, you know what? They really need to bring Rosie O'Donnell back. That show is bad. Those people are bad. I know every one of them.
Rosie has gone off,
I
man.
wanna
She's
tell
on
you.
TikTok now, apparently.
And it doesn't do very well either. I always like to say, you know, ratings are very important. When they don't do well, it doesn't do very well. As I look around the dais, I see all of the usual suspects. For instance, Mayor Adams. I'd like to poke some fun at Eric, but I'm going to be nice. I just want to be nice because I know what it's like to be persecuted by the DOJ for speaking out against open borders. We were persecuted, Eric. I was persecuted, and so are you, Eric. The mayor's dietary restrictions are well known, but I've got to say, I've never met a person who's a vegan who liked turkey so much. There's something about him with turkey. I just found that out today. You know, I haven't been in New York that much.
Which one's Bloomberg?
You're gonna win.
He's easy to spot. He's bright
We have
red.
another former New York City mayor with us, frankly, easily the worst in our history. And it's not Michael, that I can tell you. I'm surprised that Bill de Blasio was actually able to make it tonight, to be honest. He was a terrible mayor. I don't give a shit if this is comedy or not. He was a terrible mayor. He did a horrible.
He said
he
shit
did
a few
a
times.
horrible job.
I heard him say that yesterday
That's
or
not
something.
comedy, by the way. That's fact. But unlike the rest of New York, at least Bill doesn't have to worry about the criminals. They owe him big. He let them get away with a lot of stuff. Well, I'd better wrap up because Mayor Adams told me earlier that I needed to make this one very quick, especially the city has reserved this room for a large group of illegal aliens coming in from Texas. That's right, they've reserved many rooms, a lot of rooms, too many rooms. But in all seriousness, it's an honor to be here to support the city and the community. It's a great community that I love. I've been here a long time and I love it. And then it's going to make a big comeback, and I'm going to help it make a comeback. I'm going to win, and I'm going to make a comeback. We're going to turn this thing around. And I want to pay tribute to a really incredible man, a man who was a tremendous politician. And actually, the fact that he was Catholic it probably did him in, right? It probably, nobody knows for sure. But he was a great guy, Al Smith, great guy. Everyone says it, happy warrior. I've said before that I'll say it again as many times as I have to, directly to the mayor and the governor. If I have the honor to be elected next month, we're going to see what happens. It's happening so fast, but if I have the honor, I look forward to working together to make this city greater than ever before. We're going to do that. We're going to be focused on. I'll work with the governor. I'll work with the mayor, Democrats. I will work with them. I work with whoever
Who's the
I have
audience,
to,
rich
and we will
people?
even work very hard to bring back the SALT tax deduction. We're going to bring it back. We're going to bring it back. We're going to get that thing going, Chuck, okay? I actually thought about not doing jokes tonight. I was going to come out here and say, listen, our country is doing very badly. This is not about jokes. And then some person said, you have to do jokes. I said, I don't want to. There's nothing funny about what's happening to our country. And I actually meant that. I was going to do that. But they convinced me to say some of the things I said tonight. I don't know if they were funny or not, but hey, you think this is easy standing up here and doing this? In front of half a room that hates my guts and the other half loves
it's
me?
Robert Kraft.
Half of us love me. Well, maybe it's, I think 75% love me. But I actually do. I did think about that. And our country is doing very badly with respect to its open borders and inflation, crushing things happening in the Middle East and Ukraine. It's so sad to see what's happening in Ukraine. Wow. I had a lot of people very religious people come up to me tonight from Ukraine, and they're asking me for help. So sad to see so many people have been killed in Ukraine, and we're going to get it settled up if we win. As I'm president-elect, I'm going to get that done. I'm going to do it before we ever get back. We have to get it stopped. Too much killing. It's killing, and all of those cities are coming crashing down. Those beautiful golden domes are crashing down on their sides. They're so sad to see. The whole thing is so sad. So we're going to be, for all those people, there's so many people came up to the dais, and religious people from Ukraine, and I'm going to say, and I told them, don't worry, we're going to get it stopped. It's too bad it ever started. It should have never started. It wouldn't have started. But we're going to have our country respected again. We're going to make sure that it's respected, and we're going to go out and do very good things for ourselves as a country and for the world. These are challenging times for our beautiful USA, but I'm committed to working with every partner here in New York and all across the nation to build an America that once again is strong and safe and proud and prosperous and free. We're going to make sure together we can create a future defined by great ambitions and grand achievements that once again inspires the dreams of our children, brings back the American dream. You don't hear about the American dream anymore. We're going to make it possible for them to have the American dream. This is a very religious evening to me. It really is. It represents so much.
I think Bloomberg's the star.
My sister was somebody that loved the church and gave to the church. The cardinal knew that. Had a certain priest that she thought was incredible, right? A certain very, very fine man that she thought was incredible. Having recently, myself, survived 2 assassination attempts. I survived. I have a chart that went down to the right. Fortunately, I looked at it. It's my all-time favorite piece of paper. But it went down, and I looked to the right.
Boy, Chuck is
and I said,
turned into it. That's a
luck?
nasty scowl.
What was that, luck, or was that God that did that? And I think it was God that did that. I do. But I have a very fresh, Cardinal, I have a very fresh appreciation for how blessed we are by God's providence and His divine mercy. I mean, that was something, I was not supposed to be here tonight. That I can tell you. So with God's help, I know there is nothing.
What if the
that
cameraman
cannot
just
be
zooms in
achieved.
on
We can
Schumer
achieve
like
so
real
much
close?
good with this country.
He just
get
pans
together
over.
and unify. I want to thank the Al Smith Foundation for its noble work.
Cyber, what's up?
I want to express my tremendous gratitude to the Catholic community. It's a great community. It's a community I've gotten along with all my life. I tell you, when I was president, I was in the Oval Office and I got a call from the Cardinal. And he said, we need help. It was during the China virus. I want to be accurate when I describe it. And he said, we need help. Our schools are in devastating shape. They needed much more than $1 billion. I won't even tell you the number, but much more than $1 billion. But I've known the community and I've known the schools. I know so many people that were educated in the Catholic school system. And they are great, and they just speak with it like with love, much more so than almost any system that I've seen. And he said, sir, we have a big problem. We need a number of billions of dollars, or we're going to have to close down the New York school system, the whole system in New York. And I said, give me 15 minutes. I think I can find it. And we gave him billions of dollars. And you know what? He stayed open, and they thrived. And to this day, I hear you did just about the best job there is in education. So, and that was always an honor. That was always. And every time he sees me, he says, thank you very much.
Will this
I said,
affect
I know what you're
Polymarket? Come
talking
on.
about, but we worked together. We were a
Come
good
on, bro.
partnership, right? We got that money in about 15 minutes, billions, and it was put to very good use. But I just want to thank everybody. This is a special evening. It's a very serious evening, I think. We have some serious problems in the world, but they're going to get solved, and we're going to make America great again. And thank you very much, and God bless you all. Thank you. Thank you very much.
It is interesting if you're Chuck Schumer and you know you're going to be in the video, like, you have to strategize your reactions to that. Dark Brett Baer? Yeah, Brett Baer, man. So that was the dinner there. I like the Tim Walz stuff. The Tim Walz stuff was good, man. I think Bloomberg might have been the star, though. Bloomberg was... Yeah, those people, it's just like an elitist, weird, like, just ritual. They do that type of stuff. It's like a trophy prize type event. Bloomberg looking like one of Tim's tampons right now. You laughed for 10 minutes, zoomed in on the faces below. Yeah, it's awkward, man. DMAGA. Dude, did you see the Ethereum DMAGA? It was so close to running. But then Elon comes up in this gold hat. What the hell? Everyone was like excited for Elon, and I mean, he didn't have a hat on, to be fair. They gave him a gold hat. One of the people in the audience did, to be fair. DMAGA to the moon. Well, which one are you? I'm in both of them. I'm in both the Solana and the Ethereum one. You can never be too sure. You're upset Trump didn't mention dark MAGA. Well, there was no that's really not like the right place for that. I mean, Trump just kind of mentions it when it comes to Elon. Dude, DMAGA has to move soon. It does. It seriously does. Dude, what's with all these Kamala bots coming in now? You're going to have to remove them. Just hide them from the channel. The audience was way more favorable than you thought. Yeah, they were. It made Trump's jokes hit better when they're favorable like that. You're glad Trump went on PBD today? Hey, dude, have you noticed, because Trump is doing, obviously, the crazy media tour where he's going on everywhere. I saw he's doing Bongino, he did PBD, but now, like, the hosts they have to say, like, all right, I'm doing an interview with Trump, but now it's not just good enough to get Trump. They have to say, we're going to talk about things that we never, and they're trying to, like, talk about, like, weird things that Trump's never talked about, because Trump's been on so many different podcasts. And for Trump, like, if I hosted Trump for a podcast, if you're hosting him, you have to think, like, how many of these things has he done? He's probably just wants to get through it, you know? It's got to be pretty tough to, like, host it, because, he just wants to get through it. I mean, he does, like, so many of these events. When DMAGA, dude, I don't know. You gotta hide them from the channel, guys. Don't time them out. Just hide them from the channel, so they don't come back and comment. Why no Biden? Oh my God, I don't even think nobody even considers Biden the president at this point. So no, it's funny that nobody even expects him to be there. Yeah, we got hit with a, I don't know if this is a bot attack, but we got hit with a pretty bad bot attack about a month ago. But that was more so people trying to comment racist stuff to have my channel. But this is more, it's just Kamala, like Kamala bots. Like, they love Kamala. Zoomed in on Schumer, looks like a demon. Yeah, going into that dinner, it's got to be tough. You're on camera. You got to act like, oh, I hate Trump and everything. And you got to have this act. Talk about early voting. I'll be honest, Tanner, early voting is kind of bullshit to talk about. And if you want to know the dynamics behind it, early voting is so much different than it was in 2020. Based off of more Republicans voting early just because Trump is saying it's okay. In 2020, he didn't say that. And also, Democrats were very scared of the virus in 2020. You're going to get more Democrats day of voting or closer to the election voting. The thing is, if you react to early voting right now, tomorrow, all of these numbers could be invalidated. Because the thing is, we don't know when people are going to early vote. Like it's just, you're comparing, it's very hard to take early voting seriously. Unless, like, something crazy. I mean, it is good that Trump's getting more and more enthusiasm in, like, rural places in Georgia, I saw, in Virginia and stuff, but the early voting is kind of, it's kind of a whole lot to do about nothing in terms of analyzing it. Trump has never been behind this election. The far left media oversampled Dems. Well, I mean, whether or not he's been behind, it's really hard to say because you're gauging polls only. But I agree with you, and I think she's an extremely weak candidate. Remember when she got pumped up to have like a positive approval rating after she was minus 15? That was hilarious. You still bullish on DMAGA? Of course. I'm bullish on both of them, the Ethereum and the Solana one. I mean, obviously, it's not even, this is the time to be bullish on it. Yeah, the early voting looks decent for Trump, but again, you're going to get more Republicans voting early this time. I mean, I guess the thing, enthusiasm, it's good for enthusiasm. Enthusiasm is better for Republicans. I probably early vote just to make sure I vote. I think most people are going to start early voting as these elections go on. It's just, you don't really want to just give yourself a day to vote. And a lot of people, they just love convenience, and they don't want to be, I have to vote on this day and things like that. Although even voting day of, it's not, I guess it depends what city you live in, but a lot of times you can just walk right in and vote. I mean, I guess 2020 was different, but Trump is up 23.4. Holy shit. Oh, this was the popular vote. Yeah, this popular vote is getting a little bit close. I'm not going to lie. 64-36. Trump's made up about 13 points, it looks like, on the popular vote. This is pretty crazy here. There's the cope about the betting markets, too. Schumer's mad he's about to lose the Senate. Well, but to be fair, in that situation, you kind of just have to act mad because your entire party's getting roasted and you're sitting there reacting to it and the camera's always on you. Like... Is the October surprise the Fox interview? No, that's not an October surprise. An October surprise is like something that people didn't know about a campaign or like a candidate. So, I mean, we'll see what happens with these October surprises, but you think they would release them a little bit earlier if they've got stuff because of the early voting and stuff and impacting that, and a lot more people voting early. Gallup poll came out today. It came out, I think it came out yesterday. Trump +7. Well, Republicans party ID was +7. That's not the overall number because they do an average, so that's going to go into the average, but it's going to be Republicans +1 or like +2 or +3 in the Gallup party ID, which is just crazy. Unbelievable. The Gallup party ID has not been off by more than a point in the last 5 election cycles, so it's basically saying that Trump's going to win the popular vote. Now, maybe it'll be off this time, but that'd be something totally... New Mexico in play. It's hard to really say it is, just because we haven't gotten enough polling. I mean, I think I did see a poll out in New Mexico that had Trump only down by 4. Who knows about New Mexico, man? Maybe it becomes this state at the end if we get some more polling out of there. That you're down by 4. That's kind of in play, but it's just one poll. Gallup poll looks good. I know, that's why I've done like 3 videos on that Gallup party ID just because of how accurate it's been and how good it looks. I mean, it looks amazing. If it was like an average of Dem +2, Dem +3, I'd be like, yeah, it looks okay, like Trump could potentially win. But if you see like a Republican +2, +3 in that Gallup party ID, that's crazy. October surprise could be Hamas surrendering and remaining hostages released. Yeah. I think any like potential peace in any war is good for the incumbent party. Any escalation is bad. Who do you think will win the House and the Senate? Well, the House is now flipped to Republicans if you look at that. The House now, in terms of the betting, is flipping. Like, look at this. The most popular thing right now, Republican sweep. Pretty crazy. Republican sweep up to 44% to win all of them. What if there is no October surprise? Well, there was no October surprise against Trump in 2020. They didn't have anything. The only October surprise was the only real one was, I would say, the laptop that got silenced. $538 still has Trump at 46%. Yeah, I saw Nate Silver flipped it to like 51 now. I mean, they'll go back and forth, but listen, I can pretty much guarantee you already, because we're not going to see a major change. All of these betting or all of these data analysis, these models, they're going to go into the election saying it's a pure toss-up. I can pretty much guarantee you. What is Nate Silver's updated prediction? It's Trump at 51%. Harris at like 49.5 or something. Or Trump at like 50.5, like Trump barely in the lead. Yeah, I saw that new betting site. Trump's up there too. Trump's up in every betting site, honestly. You look at them. Some of them are around 60, some 57. He's up by like 16 to 18 points in most of them. But I think the general thought with these people is they can't admit Trump's the favorite, so they'll just say, oh, it's a pure toss-up. So that's what's going to happen. That'd be my guess. What about the Senate? Well, the Senate, I think, is a pretty much guarantee win. I think 51 seats would be very disappointing. Minimum 52. Did you watch the PBD? I did see the PBD podcast with Trump you're talking about. Did he give Trump any gifts? That's the question. What is the latest on the Lichtman keys? I don't know. I think the Lichtman keys are going to have to be thrown in the garbage after this election. Thankfully. Thank God. Trump +9 in new Emerson, Texas poll? Oh, you're trolling me, bro. Bro, you come up with the weirdest trolls, too. I'll give you credit for that. Does the dinner have any effect at all? No, it doesn't have any effect. He didn't give him gifts. Oh, man. Because he gave Rogan a freaking Christmas platter. I just realized you never say subscribe and hit the bell and smash the like button. Yeah, I never say that crap. The keys are decent, but he just answered them wrong. No, and I could understand that, but that's part of the problem with him. He's a partisan hack that dresses behind the idea that he has some algorithm. There's no algorithm to his keys. It's opinionated. I mean, some of them are yes or no, but most of them are opinionated. Did you see the clip of Kamala angrily yelling at the rally today? I don't think I saw that. I saw a compilation of Tim Walz dancing. Having the time of your life. A Christmas platter. Yeah, he freaking... There's a rumor Joe Rogan's going to have PBD on in like mid-December. He's telling his wife, baby, you don't have to get any gifts. I'm going to get loaded up. I'm going to get loaded up, babe. Yeah, you don't have to. It's like an inside joke with like 3 people on here. When is the poly drop? I don't know. I thought the poly drop was gonna happen. Wisconsin flipped red on Real Clear Politics. Trump up by 0.1. They're all flipping even on Real Clear Politics now, man. What a recent poll came out. What's the early voting showing? The early voting doesn't have a lot of indication. It's decent for Trump. You really think Trump will win? Oh, yeah. I do think Trump will win, yes. Yeah, the Republican sweep has gone up, and that's pretty crazy because the House was at like a 40% chance. Um, popular vote. What will Trump say during his Detroit rally? Weave. Uh, so is Trump doing a Detroit rally tomorrow? Is that what's happening? Trump's doing a Pennsylvania rally on Saturday. It would not surprise me at all if Elon Musk was there. I would actually expect Elon to be there because Elon's doing town halls this week in Pennsylvania. So it wouldn't surprise me if Elon's at another Trump rally in Pennsylvania that's happening on Saturday. The Democrats are about to push something on Trump. Well, now is the time to do it. If they're going to do something, or maybe they wait right before the election, I don't know, but I think you can search it. This is the Democrats. Yeah, so they dropped under 50%. They were at 63. When will Trump do a Virginia rally? I don't think it's happening. Yeah, hopefully Trump is with Musk there. Hopefully it's an outdoor rally so he wears the hat. Does the popular vote polls include RFK support? Well, RFK technically is going to be on the ballot in some states, so it's a little bit hard to really gauge how many votes he's actually going to get. He's going to be on the ballot in some states and not on in others. If the Solana DMAGA 10x, I mean, it's been quiet. If it needs to go to at least 100 million, I'd say. If it does, dude, if it hits 100 million, I think I'll do a stream and just I gotta smoke a cigar or something, man. Should you bet $150 on Trump winning the popular vote? I would personally not do that. I mean, I think he might win it. I'm not saying it's a horrible bet, but I just don't make bets like that. 538 forecast has Harris up by 4%, 52. That's good for Trump. I mean, based on how 538's been with the polls that they've picked, that's very good news. They're basically saying it's 50-50. When is the Joe Rogan pod? I was told it's going to be on Monday and then it'll be released on Tuesday. But I don't know. I mean, actually, somebody told me that, and I was just like, oh, but I don't know. Now people are saying they don't know when it's going to be. But it's got to be coming within the next week because they got to get that out for the early vote and stuff. And I'm sure they want to get it out. I mean, that's a time-sensitive thing. And I would imagine Kamala's not going to be going on. Craziest thing is Harris keeps saying opportunity economy. Yeah, it's a buzzword. Trump and Rogan pod, it's happening. The Kamala one, I don't think it's going to happen. People are saying it's. I mean, her campaign was talking about potentially doing it, and then she had that Fox News interview, and people are saying she's going to back out of that. She probably already was going to back out of it, honestly, or not do it. Her campaign was just talking. Got to restart the Greenland discussion. That's probably for after, like, when Trump's president-elect, we can have a big discussion about that. Because I think that's something that needs to happen. But you know what? I did ask ChatGPT, and they did say that it was going to be around 500 billion, not 100 billion to buy it. Seven million people watched the Kamala interview. Yeah, I mean, I guess, those are good numbers for Fox. They needed that. You think she'll go on Rogan at the last minute? That would be even more funny. Yeah, bring her on on November 1st or something. Bring her on after she loses. Yeah, I saw that Texas poll. I'm not buying it. I don't think Trump's going to win Texas by 12, honestly. What exactly is the Gallup Party ID sitting at? I think the average is Republicans +2 to +3. I don't believe they've released their final numbers, but it's very likely going to be Republicans plus something because of this last poll that had Republicans +7. Now they take an average, and I think they still have one more to go. But they basically said in their article, like, Trump's going to win. That's what they said. It would be very surprising if Trump didn't win. How big of an October surprise would there have to be to give Kamala a chance? Well, I think the problem is they've hit Trump with everything. I mean, this is so it's like I don't even know. Trump's not a normal candidate, you know? It's like Kamala's Al Smith video, horrible, just terrible. I don't know who told. I don't know who thought of that idea. Whoever that is needs to be fired. That was, I mean, it's next level bad. Did liberals even defend that? I mean, it's just crap. I mean, I guess it doesn't matter, but it's just still terrible, terrible campaign strategy. Yeah, they were bragging about like 7 million views as an achievement. How desperate are they? My God. Alan Lichtman said he's not biased, but went on Destiny stream. Yeah, I saw those two streaming together. That was hilarious. A liberal circle jerk, and it's just total delusion, delusion. And then when they lose, they're gonna be shocked, and they're just gonna blame it on racism. Then can't wait to see Elon jumping around at Trump's inauguration. Yeah, Elon in a dark MAGA hat at Trump's inauguration. Can you do an electoral map for a +3 Republican popular vote win? Yeah, if I did that, it would be I would have to probably give Trump at least, +3. Well, listen, a lot of that's going to come from performing better in liberal states. A lot of that popular vote number, but I think he would also have to win for a Republican +3, Virginia and Minnesota at least, because that's like a crazy, crazy blowout. And maybe, I mean, also I think New Mexico as well. And also a massive blowout victory in like Florida. What are the Republicans' chances in that? Well, right now they've got like a 51% chance to get the House. The Democrats' chance was 63. Now it's down to 49. It's basically 50-50, but if Trump does well with the popular vote, like people expect, they should definitely take the House. Yeah, I'll be streaming election night, guys. I'll be streaming. This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to do a morning stream at like 9 a.m. to noon. Then I'm going to probably do one video, and then I'll start my actual election stream, I don't know, sometime before 5 or 6, sometime around there. And then I'll go to when it's called, but hopefully it's called by like 2 a.m. Eastern time. That's what people are saying. Are we going to the inauguration? Yeah, I might have to go to the inauguration. I mean, that's, especially if Dark MAGA breaks out. I mean, this is a game changer for me. If this happens, let's hope it happens. It would be seismic. The energy. I mean, this is the last time we're getting Trump. I mean, it's going to be back to the boring bullshit again. So, You know, it's unfortunate what's going to happen once we get to like 2020. I mean, if Harris somehow wins, that would be, I just can't see it happening. I seriously can't. What's your plan beyond election night if it turns into an election week again? I just can't see that happening either way. And I don't think really even liberals want that to happen, man, honestly. And I also don't think it would be an election week. I think if anything, it would be like the next day, the afternoon, they would call it. Why do you think Kamala didn't show up tonight? I think her advisors know that she's really bad in settings like that where you have to be funny, and she's very awkward, and she'd probably mess something up or something. I mean, there's really no reason not to go to that. I mean, you can get some nice shots in at Trump in kind of a lighthearted forum. Pretty funny that she didn't go, though. And then they released that video, whatever it is. I don't know. Maybe she actually had an obligation. I don't know, but it just... Who will be the Republican nominee in 2028? I'd say Vance at this point. If it's not Vance and Trump loses and something, it'd probably be Tucker Carlson. Politics is going to be a lot more boring after Trump is gone. Yeah. And you know the worst part about that, dude? Because everybody knows right now within the Republican Party, Trump is the big dog. He's the daddy. Like, he's the leader. And you know there's people that they want that. They can't let, you know, so someone is going to come, maybe a few guys, they're going to want that mantle. They're going to want to take it, especially if Trump loses, because then it's going to be like a free-for-all. If Trump wins, then you kind of got the lineup with J.D. Vance. But if he loses, there's going to be a lot of dudes that want that because Trump's going to be gone and there's going to be no top big dog. Because the leader of the Democrats is like in the public eye is thought to be Obama. Within the Republican Party, it's obviously Trump. And apparently that made Biden very angry, by the way. There's reports from Axios that Biden is pissed at like the way the public views the Democratic Party and how they think Obama pulls all the strings. Are there any signs to look early in the evening if, say, 8 or 9 o'clock? Well, I mean, I can get everyone ready for what's going to happen. I think the early vote is going to be a lot better for Trump. So it depends what state you're talking about, because sometimes it depends how the states count. Because, like, some of the states don't count the early votes until way later. So you're just getting day of voting. That's why Trump was up by so many points in the Rust Belt in 2020, and then Biden made the comeback. But it was also like, I mean, there was a number of things. Cannibalizing their voter turnout. Yeah, they're not looking good in terms of the early voting, but I don't put a ton of stock into that, honestly. I mean, I guess it's good for Republicans, but the 2028 primaries will be Vance versus some random guy no one ever heard of. That's your prediction. You mean if Trump wins? Well, there'll be people that run. I mean, there'll be establishment Republicans that run mainly. I don't think any like MAGA type people would run against Vance, or if they do, they would drop out kind of like Vivek did, like in Iowa. Did you see the lip reading? Yeah, I did a video on that. I mean, it's obvious they don't like Harris. You might not watch the election stream. Well, it's going to be epic. It is going to be epic. No matter what happens, it'll be epic. I'll tell you that. But hopefully, it is a Trump victory. Will Mark Cuban run in 28? Yeah, he's a cow. He's a total buffoon who's obsessed with attention. You know what I heard Mark Cuban say? He said he tries to act like he's this selfless dude. He's like, I approached the topic with my family, and it was a 3-1 vote. And he's the one. He wanted to run, but his family said no. And he's like, I don't want to put them through that because of all the Secret Service and stuff. But he said he wanted to run. Now give it 3 years or whatever, especially if Trump wins. They can't help themselves. They're power hungry. They have to do it. He has to do it. He's too obsessed with power. Cuban will run for the Democrats in 2028. Watch. I don't think they'll go with Cuban. I don't think liberals will go with Cuban. I highly doubt it. You think it'll be Vance Cuban? Good night. Keep talking. Yeah, I mean, I'll be live for at least a few more minutes. Cuban is a shill. Yeah, Cuban's out campaigning now for him. Thoughts on Ramaswamy? I mean, maybe he runs for something in Ohio, it looks like. I know people want him to be paired with Vance as the VP. Why is Trump being polled at 8% black vote? That makes no sense. Bad poll, question mark. I just don't see it being less than 15. Yeah, you can't. One singular poll you can't use, man. There's no way. You have to use an aggregate of like many polls. Just because one poll says something. I mean, I've seen polls that have had Trump winning people 18 to 29. That's never going to happen. I've had polls that have Kamala. I've seen national polls that have Kamala up one with men. So you know, these are just one-off polls. Have you ever been mass debated? What does that mean? Letitia James. Yeah, she gave Trump a standing O. Did you see that? She stood up for Trump and clapped, and it's just so awkward. Yeah, I've seen a lot of liberals now like Josh Shapiro. '2028 election will be Vance versus Shapiro. I don't know. I think people they like Shapiro, but he's never been in the national spotlight. Was good to not see Pelosi ripping the speech in half in the background. Yeah, that was just such a clown moment. Yeah, Trump mentioned that Whitmer thing. There's no way he's gonna run in 2028. Newsom has very similar personality to Harris. Not too bright and angry. Yeah. Well, Newsom got recalled in California. I don't think Newsom's likable enough. He's kind of like the low budget candidate for the Democrats for 2028 because nobody really knows anyone else. Josh Shapiro versus Ben Shapiro 2028. A Jewish dream. Dude, people would lose their shit. Thoughts on Dark MAGA on ETH? I think it's more risky, but it's a potential bigger return. I mean, you saw it go to it went to like 2.5 million or so. I mean, I'm in both of them, honestly. I appreciate it, man. Dave, I appreciate it. I should do Trump crypto analysis. I did do a video on that. Go look it up. It was like 3 days ago, maybe, or 2 days ago. Kamala's not running in 2028. No. Yeah, I did stop doing my NFL picks, man. It was just it's just too much work, honestly. There's a lot you have to do with the slideshow and stuff. DMAGA on Sol dropping to 6 million. I don't know, man. It's hard to say. It's hard to predict with crypto. Dark MAGA hasn't been doing too well. Well, the Ethereum one's been doing well. I mean, this is what these coins do. They hover around 8-10 million. You just gotta wait. Who wins? Texas, Georgia, Bama, Tennessee. I have Georgia winning and Bama winning, honestly, man. Do I do YouTube full time? Yeah. Dude screams into the mic almost every time Trump drops a punchline. Well, the thing is, I'm just sick of people bitching about that. Like, dude, if you want to watch Trump's speech, go watch it. Why are you watching my channel if you don't want to hear my reaction? I just don't understand that. Has mainstream media ever reached out to me? I mean, not like any huge ones, no. Do I have Solana or Ethereum? DMAG? I have both of them. It's better to have both of them. Justin Trudeau and Gavin Newsom are the same person. They're cut from the same mold of the white guys they try and be Giga Chads, but they're liberal. So it's hard for them. Am I going to continue covering politics? I mean, I guess, yeah. We'll see what ends up happening. It's, you're going to have burnout and stuff, so I don't know. White guilt politicians, kind of, but I mean, at a certain point, when you get into being part of a political party, you have to go along with whatever the new thing is. I mean, when they started to become Democrats, it was a completely different environment. The 2026 midterms, you know, I heard the 2026 midterms were not good for Republicans. Does anyone know what are the 2026 midterms like? You think October surprise is Israel attacking Iran? War in the Middle East is never an October. Well, I mean, it's obviously huge news, but there's always shit with the Middle East, so it wouldn't surprise me. (2026) midterms going to be similar to 2018. Really? Well, that's not a good sign. I heard based on the races, it's not looking good, but I haven't even looked at it yet. Hoping for a red wave in 2020. A lot of the midterms depend on what seats are up and stuff. Arizona can't stop voting for Democrats in the Senate. Yeah, well, a lot of that now is the Kari Lake factor and things like that. Does Kamala really own a Glock? It's hard to say. I mean, apparently she lied about McDonald's. I mean, I don't know how you lie about that, but who knows, dude? They're trying to make her appeal more to, like, honestly, middle class white dudes, like 30-year-old middle class white dudes in the Rust Belt. So they have to say this stuff. I mean, listen, she was a prosecutor, so maybe she owns something like that. I mean, but it's just, even if she does, it's all pandering. I mean, she clearly pushed for gun control when she was more liberal and when she didn't have to run in a general election. Like, we know her actual feelings on these topics. But this is what politicians do. They say, well, I need these people, so I'm going to change my views. And you like Kari Lake, but not Arizona? Well, I think Trump's going to win Arizona. Having a Glock in D.C. is against the law. Well, she doesn't have to have it in D.C. I mean, why do you think Tim Walz was even chosen for VP? I don't know, man. It was such a bad pick. It was such a sloppy pick, too. I mean, there was so many out. Like, dude, that doesn't even make sense because they need, like, someone masculine. Like, even Mark Kelly. Maybe he didn't want to do it. I don't know. But I mean, there is the rumor that Shapiro wasn't picked because he's Jewish, with what his stance on the Israel-Palestine and the Palestine protesters, I guess, and how that was going to play. It's a total mess. What are you going to cover politically? I don't know, man. It just becomes rage bait, honestly. Like, in those times with politics, it just becomes, you know, I really don't know what's going to happen at that point to my channel. Do I watch baseball? I used to watch baseball a lot, not much anymore, man. But I did. I've been watching the playoffs. I have been watching some of the playoff games. Yeah, I streamed during some of the playoff games, but that Guardians Yankees game was really good. What do you think her not attending tonight was? I think she's just bad in those settings, honestly. Who do you think will be the biggest candidate in the 2028 election? What do you mean the biggest candidate? I don't know why Nick Chubb would come back. He should just sit out, man. I mean, that team's a mess. Will AOC run for president? I would imagine, yeah. She's on trajectory. She's got like that cult following of young people, but there's no way she can do it in 2028. It's not gonna. She's just too young. She's too young for the country. She's too liberal. I don't think she'd ever have much of a chance, honestly, with the current Democratic Party. They're too establishment. How do we ensure they don't rig it? Well, Trump is doing that with all the poll watchers and everything they've got set up there. I mean, they're going to have they've hired a bunch of people. They've hired an entire infrastructure, yeah, around the Rust Belt states and things to ensure that it won't happen. The pick of walls should be a disqualifier. Yeah, and also her saying the biggest adversary is Iran. AOC needs to upgrade to senator or governor. Yeah, that's the trajectory for a career path like that would take. I mean, she has the name recognition, but she is very radical. Do you think Gen Z will be Republican? It'll probably be 55-45. It'll probably be pretty close. That's my guess. There's going to be a lot of liberal girls, conservative dudes. Browns might be able to trade Watson and his contract along with 2 to 3 first rounders to a team. No, they would not do that. They're just gonna have to eat Watson. They can't give up their first round picks, man. They're not gonna give up their first round picks. Who will run in 2028? Come on, I don't know, man. I mean, it's probably gonna be Vance. Will Taylor Swift ever run? Probably not. No, I don't think she'd have a chance to win anything. Taylor Swift is not one of the if this becomes a trend with celebrities, I think it would be Cuban would be the next step for the liberals. For conservatives, I mean, it would be Tucker Carlson. Do you play fantasy football? Not this year, man. No. Sheehy versus Brown. That's a troll. Come on. Sherrod Brown? I'm a Harris Walls supporter, but I love watching your videos. That's got to be a troll. There's no way. I mean, my videos are slanted against Harris. Vance DeSantis 2028. It'll be interesting to see if DeSantis has a career revival. But what does that look like for DeSantis as a VP? I guess so. Saints can't do anything on offense. Well, they don't have receivers either, man. All their receivers are hurt, bro. Remember when Biden shit himself in Normandy? Yeah, that was legitimate. And now they're trying to say, apparently, I saw somewhere they're trying to say Trump shits himself. That was Biden who did that. And I mean, he shit himself in Normandy, and Jill had to change his diaper. They had to take him around back. That's why Macron, the French leader, was like, where did Biden go? He was like looking around. It was like the D-Day event or whatever back in the summer. And he had to leave early because he shit himself. And apparently he's shit himself like 4 or 5 times. Someone asked Walls if he was at D-Day. Yeah, JD Vance had a pretty funny thing where he had like a little machine, and he was acting like it was Tim Walls' combat career. Who would Vance's VP be in 2028? I've heard DeSantis, I've heard Vivek, I've heard Tulsi. Those are the main ones I'm hearing. I mean, who knows, dude? It could be somebody that we don't. Nobody knew that Trump was going to pick Vance until, who knows when. So you really can't predict something like that. Jimmy Carter 2028. What they're doing to Jimmy Carter is very sad. What they're doing to Jimmy Carter is, I mean, they're wielding him out. He's like, he's not even conscious. They're like, he's voting. Let me check this shit. God damn you. D-Mag, come on, D-Maga, come on. Please. It'll blow up at some point. But it has to blow up soon. Dude, well, he said we finally beat Medicare. He said that he said that when he was like had nothing else to say, so he just resorted to it. But what a sad debate that was. That was just a bad debate in general. I mean, it was great, but it was like there was just no energy at all with either of them. But I guess it was funny when they started talking about golf at the end. Moon now. You got to be a whale, Sean. Dude. I'm a whale in these coins. I'm a literal whale. No, I'm kidding. I could find my wallet on there, on the Etherscan for the Ethereum one. Is Jimmy Carter not able to talk? Yeah, I don't know, man. It's not good. Apparently he voted for Harris. Yeah, I saw the Ted Cruz debate. He crushed Allred. Ted Cruz did very well. He's a good talker. And plus, Texas is already, I mean, he's going to win that. I mean, Ted Cruz is going to win that by 4 or 5 points, let's be honest. How many times a day do I check crypto? I mean, you got to check it a few times, but I more so go on Telegram with the crypto and look at that. Warren got wrecked. Elizabeth Warren? What's my fantasy team looking like? I don't have a fantasy team this year. Couldn't even tell that was Carter. It looked like a corpse. Yeah, it was bad. How much money do you think is in Kamala's campaign ads? Yeah, they're spending way more than Trump. Way more than Trump. Listen, this is the thing. The Democrats, they get more money than Republicans. It's happened in every year Trump's ran by a lot. It's like times 5. So there's going to be way more Kamala. I'm not getting any Kamala ads. You want to know why? Because I live in Ohio. But I mean, I'm sure I'm getting a lot of anti Bernie Moreno ads. Did the Browns really need a new stadium? It depends. I mean, the weather is so shit with that stadium being by the lake. It really is bad. So, I mean, I would like them to build an. I don't know, man. I mean, it's hard. The Browns fans just never embraced. Once we got to like 2015, 2016, they just never embraced that type of like. In Lambeau, they embraced that cold weather. In Cleveland, you'd think Cleveland's like a more hard-nosed city, but they just those games, there's so many empty seats. They just don't want it. I mean, look at Detroit. They've played in a dome forever as well. Cleveland bought the property. Yeah, I mean, they said they were going to do it. They said it was confirmed. How far are you from Springfield? I'm a good distance away. I'm a good distance away. I don't really have to worry about that. Almost every single commercial on YouTube and YouTube ad is in North Carolina is a political ad. Yeah, North Carolina's got to be brutal with the governor's race, and then obviously the major election. It's a huge swing state now. If Trump wins, does wokeness die by 2028? I don't know, man. It's already so intertwined with young kids in colleges. It's hard to really say that it's gonna officially die. I've been to Cedar Point a few times. Yeah, Cedar Point's a great amusement park. Thought you were moving. Yeah, I am moving, man. I'm moving very soon. Have I ever been in a hurricane? No. We don't get like hurricane type weather, or even we didn't even get that many bad storms this year. We got maybe like one really bad storm, maybe 2 bad storms. I don't know. I hear it's supposed to be really, really cold for Halloween. I saw there was a massive cold front over like Ohio, Illinois, Michigan. The jet stream coming down, a dip in the jet stream, and I used to watch the weather all the time, the Weather Channel. They ruined the Weather Channel. They changed the font and all the graphics, and it looks so bad now. I went to the Weather Channel to look at that hurricane, the Hurricane Milton, and it was like, whoa, this is terrible. Why did they get worse with the graphics? Why do the graphics get worse? Shouldn't they get better? But the graphics got so bad I couldn't watch it. The graphics were there's just like the headlines, the fonts were all different. It was terrible. But the Weather Channel I used to watch when I was younger. Cedar Point has more rides per square foot. Yeah, Cedar Point is pretty impressive. I mean, I think it's like a top 10 amusement park in the United States. Where do I plan on going? I don't know. Originally, I wanted to go to like the middle of the country or somewhere. I looked at like Virginia, that area as well. I mean, I want like maybe a bit colder weather climate. I don't know. I want all 4 seasons. I'll say that. I just can't do constant when it's warm out and stuff. I mean, I don't really live in a warm area, but it does get real hot in the summer. Don't go to a blue state. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't. I mean, I don't really think about that much, but in terms of demographics, I'm not going to a bigger city. A lot of the times with the states, it depends where you're at, because all the rural areas or the surrounding areas are going to be red anyways. AccuWeather, they've got that 24-hour service going. I know they they're better at this point, I think, than the Weather Channel. But I never used to watch them. But they got the 24 hours going. They just talk about weather all the time. They need to implement something like the hottest temperature and the coldest temperature. That's what they should implement. I think that'd be cool. Like right now, the hottest temperature on Earth is Africa. No, like the hottest temperature is, I don't know, fucking Zimbabwe. It'd just be cool to see something like that, but they don't do it. Arizona, I would never live in Arizona. Dude, I was watching a YouTube channel where this dude, I mean, it's crazy how you can just profit off of, like, you could literally just like build a house and just like get all this free shit by showcasing it and getting views on it and stuff. It's pretty, but this dude's like building these new houses. He keeps building new houses for himself, and there's like no grass. They have turf there. It's like, how is that? How can you live like that? There's no grass. They can't support grass. It reminds me when you go to Mexico and Punta Cana and all these resorts, but mainly Cancun, and you'll just see a resort and it'll just be a patch of grass, and obviously they have to and then it'll just be desert. It'll be another resort with a bunch of grass, desert, and if you look at it on Google Maps, you can just see it. It's pretty crazy. Trump and The Undertaker, I heard about that. Yeah, that's happening. I don't exactly know the time on that. I don't really, that is what it is. I'm looking forward to the Joe Rogan one. You have grass. Yeah, you probably have to water it like 20 times a day. That's the problem. Would you move to Maine? I originally wanted to move to where, like, to the most eastern point. It's just hard for me to live in like a central time zone, or I could never live in a Pacific time zone because you're behind everything. It just feels bad. But I'm thinking about moving to the central time zone. But I mean, Maine is it's a nice state, but I don't think I'd move there now. Move to Iowa, like a suburb outside Des Moines. Almost every house has a pool and central AC. Well, I think every house in general has AC in the United States, basically. I think that's standard at this point. Did you watch Trump on PBD? I saw clips of it. I saw a few clips of Trump on PBD. I don't know, man. What do you guys think? I don't know. I mean, I guess PBD's fine. I got nothing against PBD. I mean, we share the same first name. Moved to Chicago. I've been to Chicago. Chicago, there are really nice parts. I mean, Chicago's a nice city. Obviously, there's some terrible parts as well, but I went to Chicago in like 2014, 2015, something like that, I think. Moved to San Francisco. I don't even think I'd be able to afford that cost of living in San Francisco, man. Even in a small apartment, it's like $2,000. It's like $2,000 in a really small apartment. Do you play video games? Not as much as I used to. Not as much as I used to. I want to play I bought the Political Machine 2024. I'm very disappointed. Very disappointed. Very disappointed in the Political Machine. They made Kamala great. All of her attributes are great. You got to be kidding me. And plus, they gave Trump 0 experience. He's been president for 4 years. How does he get 0 experience? What is that? PBD was audibly impatient. Wait, was it seriously? Was it bad? I'm hearing PBD did not have a good interview. He was impatient with Trump. I think PBD really wanted to get some. He wanted to get some different answers out of Trump, and maybe he got angry. Moving to the Trump Tower. I've been to one of the Trump Towers 7 or 8 years ago. West Coast football games begin at 10 a.m. Yeah, that's brutal, man. That's the other thing that you have to think about. But they begin at 9 a.m. for noon games on the East Coast time for college. They begin at 9 a.m. It's crazy. PBD is always angry looking. He does have a serious face on a lot of the time, that's for sure. Trump was going on about how he does, and it sounded like he just wanted to plow through and ask so many questions as possible for his podcast. Honestly, I can understand that. I can understand that from I mean the thing is, again, Trump is going on all of these podcasts. So if you're hosting him, you have to try and find a new angle. Do you prefer winter or summer? Probably winter, like fall to winter. Would you ever visit Los Angeles? I mean, I don't know, man. What do you mean? I don't even think a vacation would be that good in Los Angeles, but I don't know. I mean, I get there's good areas in Los Angeles, I guess, but I don't really see the need to. Thoughts on the Saints? I mean, the Saints, their entire offense is hurt, I think. Would you move to San Francisco? Come on, man. What is a political machine? It's just it's just like a Steam election game. It's just a small game, basically. You play and you try and win with a candidate. You can import different candidates. You can be old candidates. No, I guess it's kind of fun, but when they give the candidates attributes and then it's like, well, I mean, there's a clear advantage with some of them because they have like Obama's OP and it's kind of annoying. They make the liberals OP. I'm not gonna lie. Is there one state in America I would refuse to move to? Well, I guess, every state there's going to be different areas. So, I mean, pretty much any of the West Coast, I'm not interested in moving there. I'm not interested in being in the Pacific time zone. It's too far behind everything. I wouldn't want to be in the Pacific time zone. Now, I would not move to Argentina. I would not move out of the country personally. Are Republicans the favorite for the House? Yeah, very slight favorites. Mainly, I think the reason this is happening is because Trump's looking better in the popular vote, which will affect the House races because people will vote down ballot. Even though Obama was a bad president, he was a phenomenal candidate. Well, I mean, look at what happened in 2008. My God. I mean, you could say, well, that's because Republicans ran McCain, but I mean, you get a trouncing like that, and Obama's ability to speak, and the first black president. I mean, it was a whole thing. It was very very hard to beat that. You think Colorado will only get more blue? Yeah, probably. It'll be interesting to see the margin in Colorado. It got very blue if you look at the shift from 2016 to 2020. Really blue. Trump's Latino meltdown. It must not be that important. I didn't even hear about it, bro. How much can we trust Polymarket to reflect the potential outcome? Well, Polymarket is an extension of the polls. So if you know, that's basically what it is. I mean, I guess there could be some people that they have some knowledge, but it's mainly people looking at polls and then betting based off that. What is the best place to move to? Probably a suburban city surrounded by a city that's a little bit bigger, but not too large, like somewhere in the middle of the country. I mean, I think I might just try and go somewhere, a little bit more off, just because I'd rather not deal with it. But I mean, I want to be like, really what I want is there to be not much around me, but then you can go 15 minutes and then you got a decently big city. That's basically what I want. I want to have access to like all the normal stuff, but not have to live it, in that area, I guess. I mean, possibly after the election. Rank Hillary, Kamala, and Obama from worst of it. Well, I can't really rank Kamala, or really it's hard to because Obama was the only president. So it's like you're asking me to rank a president and two people that Kamala I think is going to lose and Hillary already lost. What happened to OSU secondary? I don't know, man. They always have issues now with their secondary. It seems like it's not good. OSU is just like a toxic team at this point because everyone thinks Ryan Day just underperforms, and whenever he loses a game, it's just the end of everything. Colorado is a lost cause. Yeah, because a bunch of liberals moved there. Look at Boulder and Denver. Prince William County. What was the place I was looking at? Maybe Front Royal, Virginia. Winchester, Virginia. But I don't think I'm going to go there. Weed, yeah, listen, weed's. I think weed's overrated, honestly. Utah's underrated. Well, there's a number of states out there that are underrated for sure. Colorado is beautiful. Yeah, Colorado has got amazing skiing. I went to Breckenridge, Colorado when I was younger to ski. They got great skiing out there. The mountains are beautiful. Chances that Army wins the Natty, maybe like 0.1%. Who will get a group of 5 bid? Probably Boise State. Maybe Army. I mean, it would be cool to see Army or Navy get it, honestly. But I think either of them would. I think everyone wants to see Genty, probably. But I mean, Boise State to me is like going to be one-dimensional when they face a 5 seed. It's going to be very hard for them. Montana is underrated. Yeah, I mean, dude, I went to Billings. I don't know, man. Billings is like a really isolated city. What's with Oregon fans rushing the field? Yeah, that's just typical when Ohio State loses. They just always do that, it feels like. And plus, it was a close game. So it was like emotional. Yeah, I saw Bernie Moreno was now the favorite in Ohio against Brown. The margin that Trump's going to run up is going to be too big for Brown to overcome. There's not going to be enough split ballot for Brown. He's going to lose to Moreno. Even though they got all the ads playing and they've got a lot of money that's spent on this, they're going for it. They know they need to win this. The liberals, if they want any chance at the Senate, they're going for broke. They're giving Brown all the money. It's all abortion against Moreno, and it's working a little bit. It is, but I don't think it's going to be enough. because if Trump wins by 9 points in Ohio, there's just no way that there's going to be that much of a deviation to where Brown could win. How overrated was Utah? Utah just, they don't have the overall talent. I mean, and you're going to be in these games where it's like, if you know, in the Big 12, it's such a mosh pit. If you can't out talent teams, you know, it's basically a coin flip with some of these games. You're going to lose a lot if you just don't have enough talent. If Boise faces a Power 5 team, they'll put 10 people in the box. Yeah, I mean, you know how it's going to go. It's just going to be an automatic shutdown of Genty, and then they're going to struggle. I've never been to Wyoming. I've never been there. Wyoming's a little bit too far west, I think, man. Who wins the Michigan races? The presidential, I think Trump wins. Senate, I think maybe I would say 40% chance Senate. Florida, you live in Florida, it's humid. Yeah, you know, believe it or not, it's humid in Ohio too. But obviously there it's year round. Here it's only in the summer. It's bad when it's humid, that's for sure. I've been to Florida a few times on vacation. Not but like a while ago, maybe like 11 years ago, Sarasota. I know Sarasota was one of the places that was supposed to get hit hard. They were in the news and everything about the hurricane and stuff. They were advertising Sarasota when I went there as the cleanest beach in the United States. Betting is shifting in Senate. Yeah, I know. There are some more positive Senate polls for Republicans in the Rust Belt, so that's probably why it's shifting. It's just a reflection. In your opinion, was the RFK Jr. endorsement the most significant endorsement of the election? Probably, because he was an actual candidate who had like 7% of the vote. I mean, a lot of these endorsements have been real letdowns. Like the Swift endorsement was a real letdown. That did nothing. And the way they introduced that was, you know, and then all the other people that endorsed, like we knew Obama was going to endorse the Democrat. Republicans really haven't had any. I mean, RFK was a legit liberal running on the Democrat in the Democratic primary, and now he's endorsing Trump. So that is pretty crazy. The most significant one was Musk. Maybe, but with Musk, I wonder how many independent people are going to be swayed by a multi-billionaire. With RFK Jr., I think there's maybe a more independent potential there. I'm not gonna do a sleep, but no, I am gonna go to sleep, guys. I'm pretty tired, so I wanted to stream for like an hour and a half. I think it's actually closer to 2 hours. Could Trump still lose the election if he loses the popular vote by 1? That would be a hard situation, but yeah. Young Turks coping with early voting. Yeah, I mean, early voting is. I mean, I don't put a ton of stock in early voting, but early voting has been good for Republicans for sure. I think it shows that they're going to win. I mean, I thought they were going to win either way, but do you have some gold? I don't own it. I have no gold now. I would rather I'd rather buy crypto than gold. If you're going to buy something relative like similar to gold, I would just buy Bitcoin. I think it'll appreciate a lot more, especially coming up in 2025. Can Purdue pull off the upset tomorrow? It's basically impossible. I mean, actually, I don't know, man, because that is a good situation for Purdue. I was talking about that because it's a short week for Oregon and everything like that. So I don't know. Maybe they can. All right, man. Yeah, no problem, high roller. All right, I'll